stage there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jane, for your introduction. It's my pleasure to be here and share our recent work to all of you. The topic of my paper is exploring the weak association between flow experience and performance in virtual environment. And to start, let me ask this question. Is user experience important in virtual activities? Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly, yes. I think user experience is very important in virtual activities, especially for simulation and entertainment games. Maybe it's the most important thing. Then a second question, is performance important in VE? I think the answer is also yes, especially for learning and training. Maybe the performance or the acquirement is more important than experience. And we think in a well-designed virtual environment, the relationship between users' experience and performance should be strong rather than weak. Weak association may be not a serious problem for entertainment games, but it shouldn't be neglected for learning and education. If good experience cannot promote good performance, blindly pursuing good experience would be less meaningful or may even be counterproductive. So this is what we are concerned. In virtual environment, flow experience is a hot point. It represents a highly enjoyable mental state where the individual is fully immersed and engaged in the process of the activity. It is known as the optimal experience because achieving flow state quickly and consistently can contribute to many positive results. And one is the enhancement of performance, which has been shown in various non-virtual activities. In these activities, higher flow led to better performance, showing a very strong association. However, the strong association was rarely found in studies conducted in virtual environment or other computer-mediated environment. Instead, it's a weak association. So the main purpose of our study is to understand the reasons of this weak association and propose approaches that alleviate the weak association problem in VE designs. We believe there must be certain specificity in the VEs causing this weak association problem. We will then try to explain it through building a theoretical explanation model. It is well known that there are three stages of flow: flow antecedents, flow experience, and flow consequences. For non-virtual activities, flow antecedents include two components, person and task. When a person is involved in performing the task with artifacts, flow rises. In this case, the artifact is embedded in the task and completely integrated with the task, such as the racket in playing tennis or badminton. Thus, flow experience comes from one source, performing the task. By comparison, for virtual activities, flow antecedents includes three components: person, task, and artifact. The artifact is not simply embedded in the task, but an independent component. And we think that is the main difference. Artifacts play a more prominent role in virtual environment. Here, artifacts include various parts. They are at least partly controlled by the computer program and not completely within a user's control. As a result, using artifacts can also produce flow, which may be independent from the task. And in this case, the flow experience comes from two sources instead of one. First, performing the task. Second, using interactive artifacts. As we just discussed, in non-virtual activities, flow was merely produced from engaging the task, and then it influenced both experience and performance, like the slide arrows show. And here, the experience refers to other positive activity experience. By comparison, flow is produced from two separate sources in virtual activities. Although the flow from source 1 can affect both experience and performance, the flow from source 2 may only affect the experience, not the performance, like the hollow arrow shows. So based on this analysis, the weak association can be explained. In some virtual environment, the two sources are congruent or disjointed, and flow can be produced from using interactive artifacts alone. In this case, the relationship between flow and experience may be strong, but the relationship between flow and performance will be weak, and we will test the hypothesis in study 1. In study 1, we choose two different Wii activities, virtual Tai Chi training and VR shooting game. In the two activities, the interactive artifacts are disjointed from the task in different aspects. For activity 1, the primary task is learning the movement of Tai Chi. You need Tai Chi, Chinese Kung Fu. The user needs to practice, not just watch. There are two disjointing features. First, artifacts are numerous. They provide rich ways to control the 3D demonstration and easily attract users' interest. Second, the interactions are not intuitive, which may distract users' attention from learning. So as a result, even if the user doesn't engage in the exercise, only using the artifacts is enough to trigger flow experience and other good experience. For activity 2, the primary task is shooting the targets quickly and accurately. As the number of bullets is unlimited, the player is set invincible, means they can never be injured or killed. As a result, this kind of content design makes the user form unclear understanding of the task context and perceptually neglect the requirement of the task. Therefore, in the two activities, we think flow may contribute little to the performance. In activity 1, we measured flow experience for learning experiences and learning performance. Flow and learning performance were measured with questionnaires. Learning performance was determined with the method of expert evaluation. In activity 2, we measured flow for game experiences and game performance. The game performance was the number of targets shot during the game. It was recorded by the system. And two groups of college students participated in the two activities, and their data was collected. Two SEM analyses were conducted based on the two sets of data. The model 1 showed that flow had positive and very significant direct on the 4 learning experiences. However, the influence of flow on learning performance was not significant, means the relation is weak. And model 2 showed similar results. Flow also had positive and significant direct effects on the 4 game experiences, but the influence of flow on game performance was not significant. These results supported the hypothesis. And the weak association could be explained based on our theoretical model. The cause of weak association is that the usage of interactive artifacts is disjointed with the primary task. And moreover, two main disjointing features could be summarized. The first, operating the interactive artifacts themselves is overtly fascinating, complicated, or non-intuitive. Second, the function or content of interactive artifacts is disjoint with the context and requires of the task. And we think if artifacts can be tightly congruent with the task and avoid disjointing features, the relation between flow and performance might be strong. And next, study 2 tested this hypothesis. In study 2, we chose a VE where the artifact and the task are appropriately congruent. It's a VR simulated driving game. In this game, a player drives a car to circle around the runway where different coins are scattered. Completing the drive as fast as possible and collecting as many coins as possible will earn player scores, and the primary task is to achieve high scores. The main interactive artifact is a vehicle motion simulator simulating a near-to-real driving experience, and the disjointing features in these VR games are avoided. First, the using of interactive artifacts is easy and intuitive. Second, the interactive content is congruent with the task, and that makes it neutral for user to focus on the task. We measured flow and game performance. Based on data from 14 players, analysis revealed that flow significantly influenced game performance. And the influence remained significant even after controlling the user's pre-existing experience. And this result supported the hypothesis. When the interactive artifacts and the primary task are appropriately congruent, strong association arises. Study 1 and 2 examined the reason and possible solution of weak association problem. In next study, we applied this finding to optimize the VR game. And in this study, we use a VR tennis game that we have been developing. The primary game goal is to win more rounds and beat a virtual opponent. In the earlier version, the game had some disjointing features. And then we modified the game in a later version according to our proposed design guideline. We expected these modifications can help solve the disjointing features to some extent and lead to a stronger association between flow and performance. We measured flow and game performance in the two conditions. Performance was assessed with a winning point ratio. Based on data from 25 participants, analysis results showed that the influence of flow on performance was not significant in version 1, showing a weak association. By comparison, the influence was significant in version 2, showing a strong association. So these results proved that our proposed model and design guideline was practical in optimizing VE design. In summary, in this paper, we developed a theoretical model explaining the mechanism of the weak association in virtual environment. And then we verified an approach for solving the problem. And these findings had practical implications in optimizing VE design. However, there are also some limitations of our work. First, the sample sizes are small, which may affect the reliability of the findings. And second, they use the games or different runs in the 3 studies. And this may lead to extra variables, and we will do further study on these questions in the future. That's all. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take your questions.
So please step up to the microphone if you have any questions.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Jackie Young from Stanford University again. So I think I like this overall work, although I have a doubt with the result of your last study, which you compared two versions of the game, and you try to find a correlation between flow and game performance. Am I understanding right?
Yeah. That's right.
I think you seems to trying to draw some conclusion from a statistic insignificant result, which like is not very correct, because statistically insignificant result, like there is basically no result from that. Like you cannot say because it's statistically insignificant so that there's no correlation. You know what I mean?
Sorry, can you speak a little slower?
You are like in your paper you say like in one version of the game there is no significant correlation between flow and performance, but that doesn't prove that there is no correlation between them. That only proves you cannot give a conclusive result of there is a correlation.
Is a correlation.
So basically that's just some statistics.
Sorry.
Which is one of
I
my.
think we can take the supply. You could just ask.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
No, no worries.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
we can talk later.
Maybe can.
But modeling work is really cool. Like there's modeling work interesting.
Thank you. Maybe we can discuss that question later. Yeah.
Hi, Matt Lee from FXPal. Thank you for the talk. Very interesting. I found it interesting that you decoupled flow experience from task performance. Typically, it's the same. I mean, typically they're very correlated. What does it mean to have a flow experience but you're not performing very well? Do people? How does that work?
How does that work?
Yeah.
You mean?
Can you get into a state of flow but be missing all your targets and missing every ball, whatever it is, but still be in a flow state?
For example, in the VR tennis game, the player may be in a good flow state because they enjoy the state using the interactive artifact and the very interesting virtual content. Yeah. But maybe he didn't focus on how to win the game. Yeah, we found in some of our virtual environment that happens. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's thank our speaker again.
Thank you.